Hi. So you're exhausted. You're exhausted after this roller coaster up and down after years and years of getting fed up with your body and then hiring a personal trainer, throwing on your running shoes, your trainers, and going outside, losing the weight, only to, after a few months or years, fall back into the same habits that you had before. Um, and you're exhausted after doing this over and over again. I hear you. I understand you. I feel you. I know you. Hi, my name is Manj and welcome to Tuesdays with Manj number 11. And this one is about how you finally get okay with your body and how we make lasting change so that you never have to do this again. We don't need to search anymore. All right, so what do we need to do? Well, first off, what I would love of you is a commitment to yourself. Secondly, we need to trust and believe in ourselves and the process that we're about to embark on, okay? Number three, now this one might be a little bit tougher. I need you to throw out everything that you've ever learned about nutrition, about health, about fitness, about your body. Because if it hasn't worked before, well, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, right? So stick with me, please. The fourth thing, and actually this is going to be the tough one to swallow, and I ask you to swallow it, will be that when you embark on what I'm about to share with you, that it is quite possible and probable that you are going to gain a little bit of weight, a few kilos or a few pounds. And I need you to be okay with that, really sincerely and honestly okay with that. It's not forever, it is temporary, and it will come off through the practice. Now, how long is this all going to take you? Well, it depends on you and how committed you are with yourself. I imagine, again, if you're here and right now, tuning into this, you've gone through all kinds of stuff like I did before. And I share these things with you because this is what's happened. This has been my own practice over years. I'll share that with you after, but right now I want to get into how we do this. And there are 4 things that I'm going to share with you. Before I go into that, I want to ask you about something, a little bit of a disclaimer, okay? You know, the Wright brothers, the guys who were ridiculed at for, thinking that that we could move people from places with a tin can in the air, living beings in big tin cans that fly. The Wright brothers, they invented the airplane, which are above us right now. So what I'm about to go into, it's backwards, it's upside down, it's unconventional. You're gonna think, if you've never heard this before, that really does this work? I'm gonna tell you, yes, it does. So what is it? How do we do this? The 4 things. Number 1 is to finally build a relationship with your body, with yourself. Almost as though, do you know, like when you meet your soulmate, or when you met your soulmate, or the dreams that you have of your soulmate, we are so good to that person. We're so, we hang off their every word. We respect them. We admire them. We honor them. There's open communication in the very beginning, or at least if it's your soulmate, then that continues on. And that's what I'm asking of you to begin with. Okay, so yes, it means talking to your body. Your body's becoming your very own soulmate. Now, I know that sounds weird, but if that's what we want from the outside, we've got to start with ourselves, all right? So I'll get into that a little bit later again, but the second thing that I want you to do, or the thing that we are going to do to affect the change in our body, for a lasting change in our body, is to explore our bodies. and I mean physically. You know, you get with your soulmate, this lover, this person who, you know, you're putting your whole heart into. And what do? You know, after all the communication, you realize, my God, yes, this is totally it. You guys get intimate, right? We get intimate. We spend days and days in bed exploring each other's bodies, and, you know, getting to know one another, not just through talk, but through touch, right? We're getting intimate. And I'm going to ask you to do that for yourself as well. So that does mean I'm going to ask you to stand in front of a mirror with great humility, with great humility for who's looking back at you and the body that you see in the mirror. All right, and it's starting like really ever so slowly to appreciate what we see, and to turn it around and start being the love for ourselves that we want from a soulmate. Does that make sense? Right? So get to know every part of your body. Get to know your shoulders and your neck, and you know, your legs, your breasts, your penis. You know, get to know everything. Yes, in a sexual way as well. Absolutely. Self-gratification is hugely important. You're going to do it with someone else. You know, you're going to gratify. Oh boy, that wasn't fun. You're going to touch up someone else's body, or your soulmate, or your lover, and let's do that for ourselves, you know. Let's do that. So that's number 2, okay? I won't keep these too long. And listen, I'd love your questions, especially if this does seem like backwards. I won't be able to answer your questions right away because I'm a horrible multitasker, but do please write in the comments section, and I shall get back to you. So we've gone through number 1 and number 2, and that's opening up the communication with ourselves first, talking to ourselves, and number 2 is touching ourselves and getting to know ourselves intimately for the first time ever. Bet you haven't been taught that before, so let's do it, right? The next part is movement. Okay, so we think we need to lose weight, we need to shape up, we need to do something. And I'm going to throw that right upside down, and I'm going to ask you to do nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I love to say do jack shit. All right? And what I would love for you to do for a week, for a month, for 6 months, I don't know, it depends on you and your commitment, and that is to get really still. Instead of going out and pounding your body, or if you're going to go and pound your body, I'll come back to that in a second. But what I would love is for you to just sit down and get really still. And in your mind's eye, see what you want. You know what you want to look like if you don't look like that right now. You've got a picture in your head, right? I want you to just see that over and over again. See what your arms are going to look like. What are your legs going to look like, ladies? What's your bum gonna look like? Guys, what's your belly gonna look like? Hey, and if it's a 6-pack that you see for yourself, so be it. I will not judge you. I will not say anything about that. It's whatever you want. I want you to see it in your mind. And then in terms of movement, because look, movement is important. It's incredibly important. We are human beings with these beautiful legs, and we're meant to move. Whatever way, we're meant to move. So on the topic of movement, what I would love to suggest is in stillness, in quietness, I want you to imagine in your mind what you do finally, eventually, with your body. So whether you envision yourself walking in the woods, or running through the woods, or taking up dancing for your daily physical movement, whatever it is, see it in your mind first, and allow your body to tell you what to do, right? Instead of just throwing on the shoes and saying, I've got to go for a run. Oh, I've got to lose this weight. Oh, got to go to the gym and put in my hour. And you know how it goes. We've done it before, haven't we? We've all done it before, and that's why we're here right now. So we're going from exploring our bodies, and then we're going to instead of physical movement, stillness, the opposite. the opposite of physical movement. I told you this was going to be backwards, didn't I? So, and then where do we go next? The last point. And I think this would be a no-brainer, and certainly it would be food, right? And I'm going to say, I don't think I said it already, but I'm going to tell you that the way that I work this, the way that I've done this with my body, myself, is that I eat everything that I love. And I want you to eat everything that you love. I do not want you to stop eating the things that you love. I do not want you to do any more restrictive dieting. I don't want you to change the way you eat in order to lose weight, to shape your body. And you know what? It's absolutely possible. But there is a twist to this. There is a trick, okay? And it goes very much in line with point 2, with communicating with your body, okay? And that is this, that anytime you eat anything, so that we say to ourselves, you say to you, this is the very best thing I can put into my body right now. Okay? And what that's doing, that small statement that takes you how many seconds to say, is going to start creating a shift in your mind and body. All right? And through all 4 things that we do together, all these things that I've just mentioned, these 4 things, our body starts to change. So when I said in the beginning that you've got to be prepared to maybe gain some weight, this is what I'm talking about right now. You know, that I'm saying eat everything that you want to. Please enjoy the things that you love. Let's not stop doing that. You love ice cream? Eat ice cream. Have a bowl in front of you. In fact, do it after you watch the video. Get whatever thing that you think is awful. Grab it, please, and sit down with it and just say, this is the very best thing I can put into my body. Manj says I can eat this, and I want you to. I want you to enjoy the crap out of it. I want you to love that food like you've never loved it before. And you see what's happening there is that we're connecting. You're talking to that soulmate that you are to yourself and starting to change things up. So now here's, you've got to know this, because I practiced this and got exactly what I wanted. So if you're wondering how on earth am I going to lose the weight that I gain when I start doing this, if I just eat junk all the time, and that's what we want to eat, right? We want to eat sweets and chocolate and pizza and beer and whatever. Well, this is the beautiful thing that starts to happen, is that when you consciously allow, when you consciously love, when you start having an emotional relationship with yourself, right? And you're allowing everything, you're allowing yourself to eat the things that you love, eventually the soulmate of yours starts to say to you, you know, you're eating ice cream, whatever, and then eventually there comes a point where that soulmate, somewhere from inside, someone says to you, do you know what? I'd love to eat a salad. I'd love to find something absolutely brand new, and you're going to go and Google something different. Trust me, it's so awesome. It's so awesome. This is how I began, or how I naturally got into the plant-based creative cooking, which is so phenomenal. You know, eat your stuff, eat what you love, and quite naturally you're gonna send me a message and say, do you know what, I ate this for the first time and it was awesome, and I have no idea where it came from. It's nothing that I would have eaten, you know, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, a month ago, and all of a sudden from the inside there's some sort of shift going on. You don't even know, but baby, that's what connecting's all about. That's what shifting's all about. We got to start here. We've got to start here. So I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited to be offering you something different. I don't want you to go through the same thing over and over again. I know Christmas is coming, so do you know what? Let's start today. Let's start right now. I told you that I would share my personal journey with you. I won't keep this very long, except to say, well, in fact, you know what? I'm going to just tell you what I do every day now, because my personal journey is a bit long, and that will be another video. So what do I do, and how do I connect, and how do I love this body that I've shaped over the past few years? Quite simply, I wake up in the morning, and I don't get out of bed until my soulmate is okay. And I'll tell you, this morning I woke up, something wasn't right. And I was like, all right, so I'm not gonna get up, I'm not gonna go upstairs and put myself in the presence of others unless I'm okay. And you know what? It doesn't take long. It doesn't take long at all. Once you allow yourself to just stay, just be, just rest, do what you need to get okay. 2 minutes later, you're upstairs. Good morning, everybody. How are you today? How did you sleep? So that was me this morning. Had those few moments where I lingered in bed and then went upstairs when I was 100%. And that's not to say every time you're consciously allowing you're 100% all the time and you're happy-go-lucky and you're over the moon. It's not that. Let's be honest, okay? It's not that, and I'm certainly not that all the time. I used to be when I was wearing a beautiful mask and doing boot camp and everything. Used to be, not anymore. In any case, let's go back to my morning practice. So got out of bed, upstairs, got myself some warm water with apple cider vinegar, a couple tablespoons of that. And I usually go into our living room, which faces the backyard, and just stare at the window, and I sip my water. I just stare outside. There's nothing to it. And I'm there for maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, sometimes half an hour, sometimes way long. And then I fall into a meditation. And then I really need a different spot for that, don't I? Let's hold you. Thank you, phone. Right, so we're into meditation. And that lasts however many minutes it does. And at the end of that, I do my declarations, my intentions for the day, what I want to see for Manj Karthagazer throughout this day, the 22nd of November, 2016. Doesn't take long. It's just, and you know what? It's just merely connecting with myself, respecting, honoring, being with me. After the meditation, I literally, starting at my toes, say good morning. I touch my feet. I like hug them with my hands. I touch my feet, my toes, my feet, all the way up my legs, everywhere. And this morning in particular, I spent more time on my face. I was just like, are you okay? What's going on? Dry skin here, whatever, so tell me what it is. What can I do? And you know what? It's not like you're going to get, you're guided. When you do that, you're guided to come up with the thing that you need to do for yourself. A little bit extra coconut oil was my thing. Fine, perfect. So I do the wake up my body. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everywhere. And then it's shower time. And that's just more time to love, right? Because I'm still touching my body. I've got soap on my body, and that's just another opportunity to love myself. So, and talk to myself. Thank you, hands, for, helping me sharp, whatever it is. The thing with this is you get to get really creative. For me, this is such a game. It's so childish, but it's so much fun. I get to play with me all the time. Going from the shower, I put makeup on every day, even if I don't step out of the house, because that is yet another opportunity to look myself in the eyes and say, I love you. And to just be with myself. And I love makeup. It's awesome. I love the art of it. Anyways, from there, go upstairs and grab a cup of tea or coffee. And to be honest with you, sometimes I don't eat. My first meal might be at noon. My first meal might be at 1 o'clock, sometimes 3 o'clock, sometimes at 9 a.m. And that's to get to this point where it's not a problem at all. And sometimes I do water days, like typically Mondays and Thursdays, where it's a 24-hour fast. And with deep respect, absolute deep respect for my body. And that is a different video. But the point is that what's really awesome is that I've done this. I've created my own rules, and I really had to throw away all the things that I learned. You remember me? And maybe you don't know me at all. And, I was into fitness since I was really young. And, you know, I was boot camp queen a few years back. And none of that resonates. None of it. Absolutely none. You know, what I do, on top of that, I didn't tell you that I stretch in the mornings as well after my, after saying good morning to my body before taking a shower. And sometimes I walk, and when I walk, it's really slow. Because this is what I saw in my mind before I started doing it. I want to walk. I want to walk, Manj. I don't want to run anymore. You know, my body, it's changed. It's changed. I met people over the weekend who, you know, I haven't seen in a long time, and it was in sort of a family setting. And people said to me, there were a couple of people who said, do you know what? I recognize the rest of your sisters, obviously your brother, but you I don't recognize. I don't recognize like your face or anything. Do you know what? To be honest with you, me neither. But I changed my body into exactly what I wanted to see. And holy crap, I am that. I am that. So, look, you know, I've offered you some stuff that's really, it is backwards. We're talking about self-love here. Come on. You know, not running to the gym, not doing anything that you've done in the past to affect lasting change in your body. I want you to finally be okay. If this makes sense for you, start now. Awesome. Go. You're ready for change. If this is sort of, by all means, you know, head on over to my website, drop me a line, book yourself for a complimentary call for half an hour. Let's chat. Let's do this. You don't have to keep doing the same thing over and over again in a few months. And I think my Facebook or Wi-Fi has just told me that we're disconnecting or disconnected. So I'm going to end on that note. But before I do, I must give thanks to Matt Kahn, who gave me the idea of the food and when we eat. And this is the very best thing I can put into my body. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, all of you, for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your questions. God bless you. And see you next time. Bye.